What was the biggest cultural phenomenon in the 80s for a lot of kids, and not just kids, but families, especially on a Friday night? It was the video store. What's going on, guys? Thanks for joining me for episode 2 of my fond 80s memories. I'm Ben from the Retro Funhouse, the Funhouse podcast. This episode, we're going to take a trip down some fun memories I have of going to the video store. Let's get into it. So if you were a kid in the 80s growing up, and if you remember this pretty fondly, or if you weren't even a kid, you were an adult or a teen, going to the video store was an adventure. It was fun. It was not just going to a place. It was an exciting thing because you knew when you got to go in there, you were given the opportunity by your parents, or just find what you want to watch and pick it out if it's available. And it was a lot of fun. I remember every time we would go, I knew exactly what section of the video store I would go to. The video store we had, a lot of mom and pop video stores were big in the 80s, and the one that we went to every weekend was called Star Video. It was not huge, but it was big enough that they carried many titles, and they were packed. And it was funny how on a Friday night you had to get there at a certain time, because once you got past 5 o'clock into 6 o'clock, especially 7 o'clock, the pace was jam-packed with people looking for movies, checking out movies. They had multiple employees working there, rewinding tapes, checking out tapes, looking on the shelves to pull the tapes to give to the customers. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed because I knew exactly where I was going. I was going to the children's section, even the sports section, because they had some WWF videos I really enjoyed watching, but I was always looking to find some fun sci-fi, action adventure type movies. And for me, it was never a failure for me, because I knew every time, no matter how many times I saw these movies, I would go straight to look for the Goonies, Gremlins, Ghostbusters. I mean, movies for me that I can watch over and over again. I remember renting Howard the Duck. I would go to the sports section and look to see what WWF pay-per-view tapes they have, because I remember seeing the hype during their television shows that I would watch on a Sunday late morning, which was WWF Superstars, and really wanting to see these pay-per-views and having the opportunity for the few selection of VHS tapes of WWF I could get. But was one of the fun but also sad things about renting movies at the video store was you would have, if you don't know, here's kind of a picture for you to imagine. You would go to the section, whether it's sci-fi, comedy, children, sports, documentary, whatever. They had it all. And they were on these shelves, kind of like bookshelf type things, and you could see the movies sticking out, and you could easily just see the titles of the VHS movie you were looking for. And it was simple. You'd grab it, and you didn't have to grab it at the time. You could see if a lot of stores either had the movie on the shelf, and you could grab that movie and take it up to the front, and they would give you the video. What Blockbuster did, and I think some mom and pop stores did this as well, but I remember Blockbuster did this, was a lot of the videos would be behind the box art for the movie. So if the movie was behind the box art, it was available. And this is something I did. Now, this is before Blockbuster really blew up. This is more when mom and pops, because Blockbuster came later in the late 80s, especially into the 90s. But the mom and pop stores were huge, and if you were successful, you had good clientele, you would last. The one we went to was always busy on the weekends. People, of course, would do the 2-day rental, and of course you had the rental, late fees, rewind fees. It was insane. I remember a lot of people would get upset about the rental fees and the rewind fees. But it was a great experience, because I was given the opportunity as a kid to go find a movie you wanted and bring it up and check it out. I remember even exploring with, trying to see what other movies were out there that I could watch. I remember watching Big and renting that with Tom Hanks. That was a lot of fun for me. I don't recall, and I don't think video game rentals came out till a little bit later after as well, when they started seeing the opportunity to make money off video game rentals. But man, those weekends, those Friday nights, going into the video store, seeing all the people just looking through all the movies and reading the backs of the covers to see what the movie's about, and the specials. It was always affordable to rent VHS movies at the video stores. It was like 99 cents a movie, or buy two get one, buy three get a free free day rental additional. If you could easily keep the movies longer than the 2 days, it was usually a 2-day rental to give you the time to rent it, but you could always extend that and keep it for another day or two if you needed to, and they would just charge you a little more. But of course, you always want to make sure you were being kind and rewinding, because they would charge you if you brought the movies back, not rewinded. That was just another way for them to make movie, and I get it. It was a way for the movie being rewinded. They check it back in, someone else checks it out, and they're just consistently making money. But it was a lot of fun. I remember not vaguely, but I do remember the big curtain area that was for adults only, 18 and up only. And of course, I wasn't super curious, but my mind was like, what's back there that you have to be an adult to go back there? I never cared about it. Something that I just remember, that was the adults only section, and I stayed away from that section. My sections was always comedy, of course the sports area, because I was looking for wrestling. I remember as well renting the Garbage Pail Kids movie, which if you've ever seen it, or if you haven't seen it, I mean, it's at least worth watching once. If you've never seen it, it isn't the best movie in the world, but it is a movie I really did rent many, many times, and I'm still looking for it to this day on VHS. Garbage Pail Kids, of course, was a huge sticker trading card, not really in a game, just collecting cards that were stickers with silly Garbage Pail Kids with different, like Volcano Bob or whatever it was. I can't remember half the names, but it was a big thing for kids of the 80s. And when they made a movie, I was excited. And there was a few Garbage Pail Kid characters I was looking forward to, which some were in the movie, some weren't, but still. Anyways, Garbage Pail Kids, Goonies, WWF videos, big, God, I can't think of half the other, Ghostbusters. I mean, especially when you had new release movies that would come out, you had to get there early on a weekend to get it before others, because you weren't the only one trying to get the new release videos. And Blockbuster picked up on this really fast as Blockbuster popped up, and it got really popular going into the 90s, because everybody knew that when you went to a Blockbuster, you went straight to the back wall, and on that back wall was the new releases, and they would have maybe 10 to 15, maybe sometimes 20, depending on how big of a hit that movie was and expectancy of people wanting to rent it. They would have tons and tons of videos behind those boxes, so you would walk towards the back, see those new releases, and just hope and hope, let there be one cassette left to rent. But it was fun. Blockbuster just took what was nostalgic, what brought families together. It was a joy for families to be able to get candy and microwave popcorn and everything, and have a movie night, which is something that I think, in my opinion, is really missing in today's culture as we are here in 2025. Families don't really have a place like a movie rental type place that they can go to when you can just flick on Netflix or Amazon or what have you, Tubi, whatever, and watch a movie or TV show. But it's not that same feeling, that same just family time to get out together. Mom's gonna go look for something, dad's gonna look for something, mom and dad might look for something to watch together, and siblings can find movies they'd want to watch, and you just sit around and have a good time. It's such a good thing. And I honestly wish that someone would open up an old, movie rental business again. Maybe you could go in there and it would have a variety of DVDs, VHS, maybe even beta or Laserdisc. I have a Laserdisc player with a lot of Laserdisc movies. I'd never had one. I recently bought one about a year ago, and I got a ton of movies for it. It's a really interesting concept, but to be playing a movie on a gigantic CD it was really fun. Me and my wife and the kids, we sat down and watched one of the movies when we first bought it, and we enjoyed it. And we have a VCR to this day. We have a bunch of movies that we really enjoyed, either that we remember growing up or that we think our kids would enjoy watching, and we do a VHS movie night. So that was just one of the fond memories I have of growing up in the 80s, going to the local video store, and to this day is still a very fun memory for me. The excitement of renting a movie, getting the movies I'm hoping to get, and just, even if I've seen them multiple times, just to be able to watch it again and just enjoy that time, and being thankful knowing that my mom was, hey, get what you like, and hopefully they got it. If they got it, good deal. And even we'd stop at the KFC, get food, go home, and everyone was watching the movies they got, and it was great. It was great. So until next time, guys, thanks for listening for an episode 2 of fond 80s memories. Till next time, be safe, take care of each other, love one another. Peace.